I've got a question for you. What's the difference between a routine and a rut? The difference could be a fixed mindset. I loved my grandfather, and he was the epitome of rough and gruff on the outside, but soft on the inside. At least he was for me. I knew I could depend on him to love me and yet not let me get away with anything. And I always could count on him putting way too much salt on his food and the smell of his cherry vanilla tobacco pipe. You see, my grandfather was a steady fixture in my life growing up. And while he blamed his stubbornness on his German Dutch heritage, in reality, I think he had a fixed mindset. Welcome to the Daphne V TV show today. And our topic is mindset. I'm glad you're here, and I'd love to have you say hey in the comments. So you can type hi, you can type hey, you can type what's up, how you doing, whatever you want to type. I'd love to say hello and hear from you. It really feeds my energy, and I'm able to pour more into you when I know that you're here and you're paying attention and you're engaged, you're fully present, right? So what I'd like to do is tell you a little bit about mindset, where it comes from, the different types, also how, yes, it is possible to change it, and to just really give you some encouragement today, give you some things to think about since we're talking about your mind. So attitudes are a huge component of our mindset. So if you know anybody with attitude, go ahead and just type the word attitude in the comments. I like to say, I don't need your attitude. I've got plenty of my own. So if you know somebody with attitude, just type the word attitude in there. Don't name any names, y'all. We're gonna be nice, okay? But attitudes will help determine our mindset. According to Carol Dweck, D-W-E-C-K, she's a PhD and the author of a book called Mindset. I want to get the subtitle right. How we can learn to fulfill our potential. There are two different types of mindset, the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. So, what's the difference? A lot of it really does come back to our attitude. So a fixed mindset is what I refer to as kind of a victim mentality. Life happens to them. They're into blame, excuse, and denial. In other words, they live life from bed. A growth mindset is more of a victor mentality and attitude. They take ownership, accountability, and responsibility. In other words, they happen to life instead of life happening to them. But let me give you some more tangible examples between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. A fixed mindset would think to themselves, oh, I'm not good at that. When they're presented with a challenge or an opportunity, they just make an assumption based on their past or based on the limiting beliefs of somebody else that they're just not good at it. Or perhaps a fixed mindset would be, I don't like that. I've got a nephew, bless his heart. He doesn't stand a chance with me. He just doesn't know it yet. Who will never even try a food and say, I don't like that. That's a fixed mindset. And thankfully he's a nephew because I just want to strangle him. But I love him. My grandfather, the one I mentioned earlier, very much a fixed mindset. He had a thing against sour cream, okay? Like if he knew sour cream was in something, I'm not going to eat that. You guys want to know how many recipes my grandmother got him to eat with sour cream mixed in? She just didn't tell him what it was, all right? So he liked sour cream. He just didn't know it. He didn't upgrade his mindset. Now, those are some examples of fixed mindset beliefs. Growth mindset, as opposed to I can't do that, would be I can learn anything I choose to. Anything I want to learn, I can figure it out. I can find someone to teach me. I can go get education and experience in it. That's a growth mindset. A growth mindset is I want to. I'm willing to try new things. Like, do some of y'all have a friend and when you go out to eat to the same restaurant, they order the same thing every single time? That could be an indication that they have a fixed mindset. I'm the kind of person who looks at the menu as a suggested list of options. If I don't see exactly what I want on there, I'm going to ask them to customize it to me. So if you know somebody, like if somebody's popping into your head of, you know what, maybe they have a fixed mindset, just type fixed into the comments. Again, no names, but just type in fixed. And maybe if that's you, be honest with yourself. That is the very first step to growth, is having awareness and being honest with yourself. So if you know somebody who has a fixed mindset, you can just type in fixed, and that lets you have a new awareness when you are working, dealing with, engaging, or interacting with them. You say, you know what, they're lost. Don't waste your time and your energy trying to convince them, because unless they make the decision to change, they won't. Here's another example of a fixed mindset. I won't fail if I try, okay? Or if I don't try, excuse me. Obviously, I need some water. And how about this cup? Women who behave rarely make history. Gotta have a growth mindset for that. Okay, so fixed mindset. I won't fail if I don't try. In other words, sometimes we think that that's fear. Actually, that's a fixed mindset. Because a growth mindset would be failures are opportunities to learn. Life is an experiment. When we approach an opportunity with an open or a growth mindset, our potential, and this is what I'm kind of getting around to, our potential completely changes. Our world expands. And here's the good news. You can change your mindset. Now, you can't change somebody else's, but you could share this video. And if they happen to pick up on some things, cool. You can change your mindset at any time. It is not chiseled in stone. It is not tattooed. It is not like a commandment. It can be changed. And we call that unfixing a mindset. So if you have a fixed mindset, you can unfix it. And you can do that by adopting a key phrase and a key word, and remembering a verse from my favorite book. Here's the key phrase: up until now, right? So if you have a fixed mindset, I don't like sour cream. Up until now, I haven't liked sour cream, which right then and there shifts you to think about, well, maybe I will. I'll give it a try. Okay? So add the words up until now. Thank you, Dawn, for putting that in there. Here's the key words. That was a key phrase on unfixing a mindset. A key word is yet. Just 3 little letters. Just 3, Y-E-T, yet. I haven't been successful with that yet, so I'm going to try it again. Right? This applies, y'all, to body image, health and wellness, finances, your career, relationships, okay? Sometimes we have a fixed mindset about any of those areas. And because of that, we can't fully enjoy the possibilities. So when we adopt the words up until now, that phrase, or the single word yet, we can start unfixing our mindset. Because I want you to ask yourself, is a fixed mindset limiting you? If you feel limited in a certain area of your life, if you keep hitting your head against that invisible ceiling or limit, I'm going to suggest you may have a fixed mindset, not about everything in life, but about that particular area. So one thing you can do, this comes from Romans 12:2 in my favorite book. It says, do not conform to the pattern of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Y'all, as long as you're still breathing, there's still hope. There is still possibility. I mentioned Carol Dweck in her book Mindset earlier, and I listened to it on Audible. So if you're not a big reader up until now, or if you haven't liked Audible books yet, you've got a couple different options to try it out. Again, it's Carol Dweck, PhD, Mindset. Another resource I like to use, and someone who I highly respect and admire and have had tremendous personal growth by going through her products and using her resources, is Dr. Caroline Leaf, like, the thing that grows on a tree or a plant, L-E-A-F. She offers a 21-day brain detox. She's a Christian neuroplastician. She's a scientist, neuroplasticity, and she's a counselor. And she marries the two together. And she talks about how you can literally rewire or unfix your thoughts. I highly recommend both of those resources for yourself or for someone who may have a fixed mindset and is ready to change it, y'all, because that's part of it. Life is change. It's inevitable. And it can be a more enjoyable experience. It can be more fun and exciting if we have a growth mindset, because then we can approach opportunities with eyes wide open instead of scrunched up, which, causes lines and wrinkles. And we can roll with those changes a lot easier. And the changes are softer on us when we have that growth mindset. So as we kind of wrap this up today, I just want to remind you, this is kind of like the takeaway I want you to have, is that change is possible. A fixed mindset doesn't have to be forever. A growth mindset is exciting. It allows you to become the person that you've been created to be because you are open to learning, you are open to changing, you are open to exploring, and you really can change your attitude and change your mindset. And I just want to let you know that when I work with clients one-on-one, this is an area that we have a tremendous amount of success in. Why? Because I'm growth mindset. And I can look at somebody and help them see where they have the blocks, help them see where they have the blind spots. That's why people refer to me as a truth teller. And if that is something you are interested in, if you're ready for a breakthrough in any area of your life, you might be surprised by how fast we can make that happen. So I'll put a link to my calendar in the chat or in the comments when I get through. What I like to do is I like to meet with you for 30 minutes, absolutely no obligation, to get an understanding of where you are and where you want to go. And then I can recommend a number of sessions for us so that you can unfix a mindset in at least one particular area of your life. And again, if you've received value from this, share it. You never know who might be open to change when somebody else suggests it. So until we meet again, I want you to remember you can live a free, intentional, vital, elevated life when you break chains and make waves and you give yourself permission to grow.